Many old people prefer sitting near windows, not because it is just a nice place, not because of fresh air alone. There is something much deeper behind this quiet choice. When a person grows older, their world slowly becomes smaller. Fewer places to go, fewer people to meet, less movement, more time spent in one space. So the mind begins to look for ways to stay connected without moving too far. A window becomes that connection. It is a simple opening, but it shows a living world. People walking, cars passing, trees moving, light changing. Life continues outside, and by sitting near the window, they feel a part of it, even without stepping out. There is also something about light. Natural light has a calming effect on the brain. It softens the mood. It reduces heaviness. Old people are more sensitive to this. A dark room can feel heavier, more silent, more isolating. But near a window, light changes throughout the day. Morning light feels gentle. Afternoon light feels warm. Evening light feels quiet. These small changes give a sense of time passing, and that matters more than most people realize. Because when days start to feel the same, time can feel blurred. A window brings rhythm back. It tells the mind, it is morning now. It is evening now. It is another day. There is also a deep emotional reason. Old people often sit near windows not just to look outside, but to feel less alone. Watching the outside world gives a sense of presence. Even if they are not interacting with anyone, they are still observing life. And observation can reduce loneliness. It gives the feeling, I am still part of something. There is also something about memory. Looking outside often brings back old memories. A passing bicycle may remind them of younger days. Children playing may remind them of their own family. A certain kind of weather may take them back to a different time. So the window is not just showing the present. It is opening the past. And sometimes those memories feel comforting, even if they carry a little sadness. There is also a sense of calm in watching movement from a distance. They are not in the middle of the noise. They are not involved in the rush. But they can see it from a safe place. This distance creates peace. They can observe without effort, without pressure, just quietly. And that quiet observation becomes a form of rest. There is also control. Stepping outside requires energy, planning, movement, sometimes help. But sitting near a window requires none of that. They can choose when to look, how long to look, what to focus on. This small control matters. It gives a feeling of independence, even in a limited space. There is also something about fresh air. Even a slight breeze can change how the body feels. It can reduce heaviness. It can make breathing feel easier. It can bring a sense of life into the room. Old people notice these small physical changes more. They appreciate them more, because their body feels every shift more clearly. There is also silence, but not complete silence. The kind of silence near a window is different. It carries soft sounds, distant voices, birds, wind, passing movement. This kind of sound feels alive. It does not feel empty, and empty silence can sometimes feel heavy. So the window fills that silence gently, without overwhelming the mind. There is also a psychological balance here. Too much isolation can make the mind restless. Too much activity can make it tired. But sitting near a window creates a middle space. Not fully alone, not fully involved, just gently connected. And this balance feels right, especially in old age. There is also something about waiting. Many old people spend time waiting for someone to visit, waiting for a call, waiting for a moment of connection. And the window becomes a place for that waiting. They look outside, not always for something specific, but with a quiet hope. Maybe someone will pass. Maybe something will happen. Maybe the day will bring a small change. Even if nothing happens, the act of looking keeps that hope alive. There is also a deeper emotional layer. The window represents openness. Even if their life has become limited, the view is not. The sky is still wide. The road still goes somewhere. People still move freely. And seeing this can create a strange mix of feelings. A little peace, a little longing, a little acceptance, all together. but it still feels better than being closed in completely. There is also comfort in routine. Many old people sit near the same window at the same time every day. Morning tea near the window, evening rest near the window. This repetition gives structure, and structure gives stability. Without it, days can feel empty. So the window becomes part of their daily rhythm, something they return to again and again. There is also something very quiet, but very real. Sometimes they are not looking outside at all. They are sitting there, thinking. The window just gives direction to their thoughts, a place to rest their eyes, while the mind moves elsewhere, into memories, into reflections, into feelings they do not express. And that space, that quiet thinking space, becomes important, very important, because they do not always have someone to share those thoughts with. So they sit, they look, they think. There is also a sense of safety. Being inside, near a window, feels safe. They are protected, but not cut off. They can see the world without being exposed to it. And this balance between safety and connection is very comforting, especially when the body feels more vulnerable with age. There is also something about acceptance. Old people slowly accept that they cannot be everywhere anymore. They cannot do everything they once did. So instead of resisting, they adjust. They find new ways to stay connected. And the window becomes one of those ways. A simple solution, but a meaningful one. And maybe the most important reason is this. They are not just looking outside. They are feeling life in a quieter way, without rushing, without pressure, without needing to be part of everything. Just witnessing, just being present. And in that quiet presence, there is peace. There is reflection. There is a gentle connection to the world. One that does not require movement, one that does not demand energy, just a window, a view, and a mind that is slowly learning how to live differently, but still feel deeply. And when they sit there day after day, something even deeper begins to form. The window becomes familiar, not just the place, but everything around it. The same road, the same tree, the same people passing at certain times. Slowly, these small details become part of their world. They start recognizing patterns. That man walks every morning. Those children come back from school at this time. The light falls like this in the evening. These observations may seem small, but for them, they carry meaning, because they create a sense of continuity, a feeling that life is still moving in a predictable way. And predictability feels comforting, especially when many other parts of life feel uncertain. There is also something about feeling connected without being seen. When they sit near the window, they can observe others, but no one is observing them closely. There is no expectation, no pressure to respond, no need to explain anything. This one-sided connection feels safe. It allows them to be part of the world, without the effort of interaction, and that balance is very valuable. There is also a quiet emotional release in this space. Sometimes, while looking outside, feelings come up. Old memories, missed people, moments that cannot return. And in that soft light, near that open space, these feelings feel easier to hold. They do not feel trapped. They do not feel overwhelming, because the outside view gives the mind space. It softens the weight of those emotions. There is also something about hope, even if it is very small. Every time they look outside, there is a possibility. Something might change. Someone might come. Something new might appear. This small sense of maybe keeps the mind gently engaged, without forcing excitement, without creating stress. Just a quiet openness to whatever comes. There is also the role of routine comfort. When a person returns to the same spot every day, it becomes more than a place. It becomes a feeling. The body relaxes faster there. The mind settles quicker because it recognizes the space. It trusts it, and trust, even in a place, creates calm. There is also something very subtle about control of attention. In a busy environment, attention is pulled in many directions. Noise, movement, voices. But near a window, attention can be gentle, focused on one thing at a time. A bird, a passing car, the sky, or nothing at all. This gentle control reduces mental strain. It allows the brain to rest while still being aware. There is also a quiet dignity in this behavior. They are not demanding activity, not asking for constant engagement. They are finding peace in something simple, something available, something that does not depend on others. And this independence, even in small forms, matters deeply. There is also something about time reflection. Looking outside often brings a sense of passing time, not in a stressful way, but in a thoughtful way. They see how things change slowly, the seasons, the light, the routine of people, and it reminds them of their own journey, where they have been, what they have seen, what has changed inside them. This reflection is not always sad. Sometimes it is peaceful, a quiet acceptance of life as it is. There is also a gentle slowing down of the mind. When they sit near a window, nothing is demanding urgency. Nothing is forcing action. So the mind slows, thoughts become softer, breathing becomes calmer, and in that state, the body and mind align. This kind of calm is not easy to find in busy environments, but near a window, it comes naturally. There is also something about feeling less trapped. Closed spaces can sometimes create a sense of restriction, especially when movement is already limited. But a window breaks that feeling. It creates openness. Even if the person does not step outside, they can still see beyond the walls, and that makes a difference, a quiet but powerful difference. There is also emotional balance. The outside world is always changing, but not in a way that demands response. They can watch rain without getting wet, watch people without talking, watch movement without participating. This creates a safe emotional distance where they can experience life without being overwhelmed by it, and that balance supports mental well-being. There is also something very human about simply watching. From childhood to old age, people find comfort in observation. But in old age, this becomes more meaningful because it replaces what cannot be done anymore. They may not walk as much, travel as much, engage as much, but they can still see, still notice, still feel connected, and that connection keeps something alive inside. There is also a quiet companionship in familiar views. The same tree outside becomes like a silent friend. The same street becomes a known path. Even the changing sky becomes something they relate to. These things do not speak, but they are always there. And that consistency feels comforting, very comforting. And maybe the deepest truth is this: sitting near a window is not about the window. It is about what the window gives: a sense of connection, a sense of calm, a sense of continuity, a sense of space, and a gentle reminder that life is still moving, even if they are moving more slowly now. So when you see an old person sitting quietly by a window, they are not just passing time, they are staying connected in the simplest and most peaceful way they can. And when you truly notice this, the way you see them begins to change. You no longer see someone just sitting there. You start to see a quiet process, a way of living, a way of staying connected without needing much. And something very gentle becomes clear. They are not doing nothing. They are doing something very important in a very quiet way. They are balancing their inner world. There is also something about how they experience time in that space. Near a window, time does not feel rushed. It flows slowly, naturally. They are not checking the clock again and again. They are not waiting for the next task. They are simply allowing time to pass. And in old age, this kind of relationship with time becomes valuable because there are fewer external pressures, but more internal thoughts. And the window helps them sit with those thoughts without feeling overwhelmed. There is also a sense of grounding. The outside world keeps moving, but they remain still. This contrast creates a strange kind of stability, like watching a river flow while sitting on the bank. They are not in the current, but they are still connected to it, and that connection feels enough. There is also a quiet emotional safety and distance. When you are inside, looking out, you are protected. You can witness everything, but nothing can directly disturb you. No sudden interaction, no unexpected demand, just observation. And for an older mind that values calm, this distance feels right. It allows engagement without risk. There is also something about personal space. As people grow older, they often need more personal space, not because they dislike others, but because their tolerance for noise and interruption becomes lower. The window becomes a personal zone, a place where they can sit without being disturbed too much, a place where they can exist quietly, on their own terms. And that sense of ownership matters. Even if it is just a chair near a window, there is also a subtle sense of purpose, having a place to sit, a place to look, a place to return to. This creates a small daily purpose. It may seem simple, but purpose, even in small forms, keeps the mind steady. It gives the day a shape. Without purpose, time can feel empty. But with even one meaningful spot in the day, things feel more grounded. There is also something about emotional release without expression. Old people do not always talk about what they feel. They carry many emotions quietly, and when they sit near a window, those emotions can move inside them. Without words, without explanation, they may feel something and let it pass, just by sitting, just by looking. This is a quiet way of processing, a very natural one. There is also a connection to nature, even if it is small. A tree, the sky, birds, clouds. These elements have a calming effect. They slow the mind. They bring a sense of life beyond human problems. And for someone who has lived through many ups and downs, this simplicity feels soothing. Nature does not demand anything. It just exists. And that existence brings peace. There is also something about acceptance of limits. Old people slowly understand what they can do and what they cannot. And instead of constantly resisting those limits, they adjust their life around them. Sitting near a window is one of those adjustments. It is a way of saying, I may not go out as much, but I can still see the world. And that shift, from resistance to acceptance, brings calm. There is also a quiet form of gratitude, even if it is not spoken. Being able to sit, being able to see, being able to feel light and air. These small things start to matter more because they are not taken for granted anymore. And in that awareness, there is a gentle appreciation. There is also something about emotional rhythm. Every day, the same view, but slightly different. Different light, different movement, different feeling. This creates a soft variation within routine, enough change to keep the mind engaged, but not so much that it becomes overwhelming. And that balance is perfect for an aging mind. There is also a deeper kind of reflection that happens there, not active thinking, not problem solving, just quiet reflection, looking outside while looking inside. And sometimes, in that state, they understand things about their own life without forcing it, without analyzing too much. Just a natural clarity that comes with stillness. And maybe this is something many people miss. They think peace comes from doing more, from going out, from staying busy. But old people often discover something else. Peace can come from less, from slowing down, from sitting near a window, and simply being. And in that simple act, there is no rush, no pressure, no need to prove anything. Just a quiet connection between the inside and the outside, between the person and the world. And when you understand this, you stop seeing that window as just a place. You start seeing it as a bridge that allows them to stay part of life without leaving their peace behind. And when you begin to see that window as a bridge, you also begin to understand something deeper about them. They are not withdrawing from life. They are choosing a different way to stay close to it, a quieter way, a slower way, but still a meaningful one. There is also something about how they begin to value stillness. In younger years, stillness can feel uncomfortable. It feels like nothing is happening. But in old age, stillness becomes rich, full of small details, full of awareness, full of presence. And sitting near a window allows that stillness to exist without feeling empty, because there is always something gently moving outside, even if it is just the light. There is also a quiet trust that builds with this space. They trust that this spot will give them calm, that it will not overwhelm them, that it will not demand anything. And when trust is built with a place, the body relaxes faster, the mind opens more easily. This is why they return to it again and again, not out of habit alone, but out of emotional reliability. There is also something about how they begin to detach from urgency. The world outside may be rushing, people moving quickly, cars passing fast, but they are not part of that rush anymore. And instead of feeling left behind, many of them begin to feel free from it, free from pressure, free from constant movement. And the window shows them that difference clearly. It shows them both worlds, the fast and the still, and they choose stillness. There is also a soft sense of observation without judgment. They watch people pass, different lives, different paths, but they do not feel the need to compare, or compete, or react. They simply observe. And this kind of observation brings a quiet peace, because it removes pressure, it removes expectation. It allows life to be seen, without needing to control it. There is also something about letting go. Sitting near a window often becomes a place where they slowly let go of things. Old worries, old regrets, old tensions, not in one big moment, but little by little. As they sit, as they watch, as they breathe, things soften, the mind becomes lighter. And this process is not visible, but it is very real. There is also a connection to endings. Windows often show transitions, morning to evening, light to dark, movement to stillness, and old people become more aware of transitions. They feel them more deeply. So sitting near a window becomes a quiet way of witnessing change, accepting it, without fear, without resistance, just understanding that everything moves and then settles. There is also something about not needing constant stimulation. The modern world is full of noise, screens, information, voices, but old people often move away from that. They prefer softer experiences, gentler input, and the window gives exactly that. A natural, slow, changing view. Without pressure, without overload, just enough to keep the mind engaged, without tiring it. There is also a quiet form of independence in this choice. They are not asking for entertainment, not asking for someone to sit with them all the time. They are creating their own peaceful space, and that independence matters, because even in old age, the need to feel self-sufficient remains, even in small ways. There is also something about emotional honesty. In that space, they do not have to pretend. They do not have to respond. They do not have to act a certain way. They can just be, with their thoughts, with their feelings, with their memories. And that honesty, that freedom to simply exist, is very rare and very valuable. There is also a quiet beauty in repetition, the same view every day, but never exactly the same. This teaches something very gentle, that even in repetition, there is change. And even in change, there is continuity. This understanding brings peace, because it reflects life itself. There is also a deeper connection to presence, not the kind that comes from effort, but the kind that comes from slowing down, from noticing, from simply being aware. And sitting near a window allows that presence to happen naturally, without trying, without forcing. And maybe this is the most meaningful part of all. They are not just sitting near a window. They are practicing a different way of living, a way that is slower, softer, more aware, more accepting. And when you look at it like that, it is no longer a small habit. It is a quiet form of wisdom, a way of finding peace without needing much, a way of staying connected without losing calm, a way of living that many people only understand much later in life. So the next time you see an old person sitting near a window, you may not interrupt, you may not question, you may simply sit nearby, in silence, and maybe, for a moment, you will feel it too, that quiet calm, that gentle connection, that simple, deep peace, that asks for nothing, but gives so much.